Hello and welcome back to Bricking It. Today we're working on some last couple of finishing touches for our new Diagon Alley setup. See, I've got a cover already prepared. It's just one of my old Hogwarts ones I actually put the stickers in. Let's look at our parts. So first of all, we're going to be covering a gap between Flourish and Blots and Weasley Wizard Wheezes. We've got a panel on the back here to give us an idea of a dark passageway. As you can see by the sticker, this is going to be the entrance to Knockturn Alley. This section has to be separate because if you can see in the inset, it's stored to the side of the main build, so it needs to be easy to pop off and on. And here is the topmost portion, well almost, but the topmost portion that fits inside the book cover. So you've got a couple of studs on the back there to hold it on. And this is just going to fit on top there. So this is similar in style to the Knockturn Alley that came in the Diagon Alley set. It was actually integrated into Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, and with this top sloping piece, that's going to complete our little build. We've got this stud on the front, and that's used to hold the last part, which is basically a direct copy from the Diagon Alley set. I was surprised that I had all these pieces in my inventory. For once I didn't have to make a brick order, and there's no pieces missing. This just slots onto the Technic pin, and it will just flip over and rest against this exposed stud. And that just helps us keep our wonky window. So there's our first gap filler, the entrance to Knockturn Alley. So our second new part, yet another alley entrance. We've basically done the same sort of thing here. Got these profile bricks at the side, which means I've had to use a thinner panel just to fill in the space. Got these green bricks, so we've got something to look at through the window. That's going to fill another gap at the far end of Diagon Alley. These two snot bricks on the side for holding in these top pieces. These are very simple. They're just literally so that you don't see what's going on behind Diagon Alley, which is basically where I store the book covers when they're not in use. It's got quite a sharp angle on it, and you'll see when we put that into Diagon Alley why that's there. And that's this in storage mode. So it's not just these gap fillers that are finishing off the alley. I've actually been making a few bits of street furniture as well. So if you haven't seen the thumbnail or the little picture at the beginning, this first little build is going to be just a little machine that we see on the streets of Diagon Alley. It's only shown in one movie, and that's Half-Blood Prince, and then only briefly, and then not even this version of it. This is the version we find at the theme parks. These sticker parts I'm putting on now come from set 8641, the Flame Glider. Found them on Bricklink. Sets from 2005, now fairly inexpensive, but perfect for what I wanted. I'll pop the sides on now, and these are simply tiles held on at the bottom onto these snot bricks. Starting to take shape, and I'm sure the colour scheme is giving you plenty of clues. 1x2x3 window in the front here. Might have a little hunt around, see if this comes in purple. Not sure that it does, or I'm sure it would have been in the night bus. And the final part is going to be one of these small dark green dragons. Now I'm going to leave the back open on this, but if you wanted to enclose it, you'd have to go another stud deep, make it 3 studs deep instead of the 2, probably pop another window on the back. You'll be able to enclose it, but I want it open just to get a little bit more light in, make it a bit easier to see the dragon, since it's so dark. On top we'll just pop this curved slope, and that's the build. And this of course is our Weasley's Dragon Roasted Nuts vending machine. Just going to use this temporary base just to stop this falling over while I build. So this is a fairly simple build. This was actually based on a piece that's integrated into the latest Weasley's Wizards Wheezes modular building. But I'm going to be using it slightly differently and make it a freestanding piece. So this is the shop signs that came on that set, and they're all attached onto this rounded piece here, and you can see they're tall on the set, but that would have it far too low to the ground and people would be walking into it. So I'm going to do it wide instead. Other than that, it's pretty much exactly the same build. A couple of these stickered pieces on the studs, and then a little clip to hold the middle one on, and that gives us a nice opportunity to make it a bit wonky, Diagon Alley wonky, so it's not all completely straight. I like to give it a bit of an angle. We'll just attach these onto these robot arms, and that's this next little build done. So there is our street furniture. We're going to take these pieces now and integrate them into Diagon Alley. Welcome viewers to Diagon Alley. Here's our first gap. I just want to show you, I've added a few more interesting things, like the Weasley's Wizard Wheezes abstract of the sign that came in the latest set. Onto flourish and blots, I'll put these snake details, not on the original Lego set, but you can see them on the building. Finally added the 3D sign to the front of Florian Fortescue's along with the lantern. Put the second flag on Quality Quidditch Supplies, the lantern again. Scribulus has got its 2 adverts. And on the front of Broomsticks, I added this flag which originally came with the first ever Quality Quidditch Supplies. There's our gap we're going to be filling in, just at the side of Gringotts. And that's just going to slide in. And you can see the dark tan matches the dark tan backplate. I'll talk about that a bit more in my next video, which is going to be the last one detailing Gringotts. Here's Knockturn Alley being installed. A wibble and a wobble. You can just slide that in position. And we have our entrance to Knockturn Alley. Signpost is going to be one of the things holding my plates together. And then the Dragon Roasted Nuts machine just outside Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. So those aren't the only additions to the street. We've got our Owls, Bats and Cats for Sale sign. I managed to add the print loft to Quality Quidditch Supplies. Put some stuff in the windows, a broomstick down the bottom, got to change that clip. And I just used some stickers that I found on eBay just to add some Quidditch torsos into the shop windows. And Florian Fortescue has finally got his prices on display. I've always had an interior in Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, such big windows and a great sticker sheet. I really wanted to show off some of those stickers. With the new set, got a lot more stickers to choose from, so I can really vary up what's on display on the windows and maybe add some more to the upper windows just to make it even more vibrant. Thinking of changing the head, possibly from the brick built one to the stickered version. If you've got an opinion on that, leave it in the comments. I still like the brick built one, but the stickered one is definitely easier to store away. Now all of these new pieces obviously need to be stored away themselves. So I've got one last cover. Got this Butterbeer sticker from the Magical Trunk set, and the stripes match other books in the set. This one differs, however, in that it's just a box. You're using some of these 1x2 detail bricks to give the impression of book pages, and they're all just bracketed to the spine, so we just get a nice lidded box where we can put a chimney, various lanterns and signs, any of the loose sticking out pieces that can't stay on the builds because they need to fold away into their own covers. It's actually quite refreshing to be able to just throw things in a box without having to meticulously remember how this madness all fits. There we go, see, plenty of room still for other bits and pieces. We can simply close the lid, and there we go. So there's our last two new book covers to add to Diagon Alley. And I think we're pretty much finished now. Got all the buildings that I want. I say that, I would love to have an alternate where I could swap out Weasley's Wizards Wheezes for Gamble and Japes. And that may be a future project if I ever get the itch to revisit. Definitely won't be building the other side of Diagon Alley. Really don't have space for that kind of thing. And we'll be finishing off this series finally after over a year with a little bit of a detailed look at my Gringotts MOC. So there we go. The end of Diagon Alley finally. Thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share with your friends. If you'd like to discuss this build, you can leave a comment down below. And if you'd like to see more Wizarding World hidden scenes, then please subscribe to Bricking It. Bye bye.